All right, today we are cracking open one of the all-time classics of trading literature, Market Wizards by Jack Schwager. We're going to distill the timeless wisdom from some of the world's greatest traders, and you'll see it has way more to do with your mindset than some magic formula. Let's dive in. So you gotta ask, what's the real secret? What actually separates the legends from everybody else? Is it some complex algorithm or a secret signal that only they know about? The book really gets to the bottom of this, and trust me, the answer is not what you think. And here's the single biggest takeaway from all those incredible interviews. There is no holy grail. The real secret isn't a strategy you can just copy and paste. It's a mental framework. It's a completely different way of thinking that these masters all shared. Now, you have to understand, this book isn't some how-to guide. It's a collection of super honest, candid conversations with giants of the industry, people like Paul Tudor Jones and Bruce Kovner. Schwager wasn't obsessed with what they were trading, he wanted to know how they were thinking. Okay, so let's get into the first big secret, and honestly, it's probably the most fundamental lesson in the entire book. And the funny thing is, it has absolutely nothing to do with making huge profits. It's all about one thing, staying in the game.
This was the one thing almost every single trader Schwager talked to agreed on. Their number one job every single day wasn't to hit a home run. It was to play defense. Protecting their capital was everything. You see, making money always came second to not losing it.
And they didn't just talk about it, they lived it. Take the legendary Bruce Kovner. He had a simple, unbreakable rule. He would never, ever risk more than 1/5% of his entire account on any single trade. That kind of discipline meant that one bad idea could never, ever knock him out of the game. And this famous quote from Ed Sykota just says it all, doesn't it? It's become a mantra for a reason. These wizards knew that you could be wrong, even wrong most of the time, and still get rich, but only if you are absolutely ruthless about cutting your losses and letting your winners ride. All right, so if survival is the foundation, what's the next level? Well, it's all about mastering the battle that goes on right between your ears. It's about winning the inner game. What Schwager discovered was that the real edge wasn't some technical system. It was unbelievable discipline and emotional control. These traders just didn't get swept up in the emotional highs and lows. A big win wasn't a reason to party, and a tough loss wasn't a reason to despair. It was all just data. This chart really nails the difference. Look at the crowd column. It's driven by pure emotion. It's all about chasing profits, getting impatient or bored, and letting your ego call the shots. Now look at the wizard side. It's all about being detached, focusing on your process, having the patience to wait for the right moment, and, this is huge, having the humility to say, I was wrong, and get out immediately. And that idea of finding what works for you leads us perfectly into the third big secret, which is a massive reality check for anyone out there still looking for that one perfect trading system. Look, if you read this book hoping to find the one secret strategy to follow, you're going to be really disappointed. Why? Because, like we said, there is no holy grail. In fact, what's so cool is that Schwager interviewed traders with wildly different, sometimes even opposite approaches. And the diversity here is just incredible. I mean, you've got trend followers who might stand a trade for months. You've got global macro guys like Jim Rogers looking at huge economic shifts. And then you have guys like Marty Schwartz just grinding it out with technical charts all day long. And the punchline? They were all massively successful doing it their own way. And that right there is the key to the whole thing. Success isn't about finding the best system out there. It's about finding the best system for you. It has to match your personality, your temperament, your tolerance for risk, so that you can actually stick with it, day in and day out without fail. Okay, so this all brings us to a huge question. These interviews are from decades ago. In today's world of crypto and high-frequency algorithms, is any of this wisdom still actually relevant? Let's be real for a second. The market today looks nothing like it did when this book was written. So, does this advice still hold up? Or is it just a relic of a bygone era? I mean, just look at how much the assets have changed. Back then, these wizards were trading soybeans and other commodities. Then it was all about tech stocks and Forex. Today, we're talking crypto and AI stocks. The playground is completely different. But, and this is why this book is timeless, while the tickers and the tools are always changing, the engine that drives the market is exactly the same. The raw human emotions of fear and greed, they haven't changed one bit. And that means the core principles of risk management and discipline are just as crucial today as they were then. So at the end of the day,
That's what it all boils down to. Market Wizards isn't really a book about charts or indicators. It's a masterclass in psychology, discipline, and self-control. The wizards weren't magicians. They were masters of themselves, and only then could they become masters of the market.
So we'll just leave you with this question to think about. The book proves that true success in any high-stakes game starts from the inside out. The wizards figured out how to master themselves. The only question left is, how will you master you?